Testing. Loud. All right. Is that my phone? All right. Is the show going live? You don't see it?
I don't see it.
Are you on my page?
Yeah.
You see my drink over here? Thank you. Hello, and welcome again to hopefully another edutaining episode of Create Simple Meals. So, finally, I've been getting some requests and emails of requesting certain foods to make. And this one is a friend of mine. She's the owner of Ritzy's Cake out there in Texas. Good friend of mine and sister, Jerry, inboxed me and was telling me about doing these corn dogs. Since most of us in the summertime, we go to fairs and whatnot, that's all canceled because of Corona. So welcome to Create Simple's Meal Quarantine Fair. Today we're going to do some corn dogs and we're going to do some funnel cake. And just for giggles, I'm going to go ahead and make me a whiskey lemonade. Was debating on doing Lynchburg lemonade, but I don't like that name. So we're doing a whiskey lemonade with a little bit of something twist on it. All right, so for the corn dogs, it's real simple. We're going to use a cup of cornmeal, cup of flour, half a cup of sugar, teaspoon of salt, egg, cup of milk, tablespoon of oil. Mix that up, and we're going to make that happen. For the funnel cake, quarter cup of milk, egg, tablespoon of water, teaspoon of extract. Normally use vanilla. I want to be a little different today, so I'm tossing in some lemon, which would probably go great if you did some strawberry topping. Tablespoon of sugar, 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of flour, and some powdered sugar to go and tint that off. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and get started. First, we're going to start off with these corn dogs because we got to mix them up and then let that sit for a minute. As always, folks, as you're sitting here watching me, please click that like button, click that share button, subscribe to us on YouTube, share us with your friends, families, hell, show us with your enemies. Just share us. Also, please send us your comments, your criticisms, your thoughts, ideas, whatever it is, go and send it at askme@createsimplemeals.com. Now, for the corn dogs, two things you got to remember. One, you got to dry these things off. Two, a corn dog ain't got to be a hot dog. So we're going to do a hot dog because my niece is here with us. So we're going to do a hot dog. But we're also going to do my favorite sausage in the whole world because my folks from Alabama, Conecuh hot dog, straight out of Conecuh County, Alabama. All right, so let's go ahead and get this started. So as I said before, for the corn dogs, and I already got most of this already put together, cup of cornmeal, cup of flour, half a cup of sugar. We're going to toss that in there. We're also going to put in about a teaspoon of salt. And we're going to put in a little bit of, what's that stuff called? Baking powder. We're going to whisk this all together. Grab me a handy dandy whisk here. Whisk that nice and get it all incorporated like. Give myself a little space so y'all can see what's going on here. Then to that, we're going to add about a tablespoon of oil. We're going to add in 1 egg. And let me grab this milk. We're going to need about a cup of milk. Now, because I got a bunch of this stuff around here. I hear you, I hear you. Gonna turn, that's the thermometer for my fryer. A cup of milk. And we're gonna just mix this all together. Ted, dog, do me a favor. Go in the house and get that red cup and bring it to me. I thought I brought it out here. So we're gonna mix this all up, and then we're gonna let this sit. And the reason you let it sit about 10, 15, 20 minutes or so. And the reason being is you need that baking soda to activate. I'm sorry, the baking powder to activate and go and give it a nice little rise. Let's just mix this all up. And you might have to go in there and help her if she can't find it in about 20 minutes, 20 seconds. Thank you. There we go. That's that hidden hand off camera. We're going to go ahead and mix this up. And that should be, I'll give it another stir just in case. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, because I did this last week, get you some larger hot dogs. These little thin ones right here, if you like a lot of corn on your dog, then you'll have a lot of corn on your dog. Otherwise, get you a larger dog. Now, we're going to take this, we're going to pour this into this very technical corn dog dipping device, aka the free cups that come when you buy pitchers. And you're going to pour this in here just to make it easier to dip your dogs. All right. There we go, folks. And we're going to put this out of our way for right now and let that sit for a minute and let it rise. Now we're going to move on to our funnel cake. As always, while you sit and remember, this show is brought to you by the Self-Employed Tax Guide and Self-Lodge Planner. So for all your tax needs, your business development needs, business coaching, please hit up the Self-Employed Tax Guy. He's right there waiting for you. You can meet him physically at his office. You can, here in Southern California, you can contact him via phone, Skype, email, Zoom. He's made it where you can meet him virtually anywhere. And for the Self-Lodge Planning Group. So once we get off punishment, please hit up Self-Lodge Planning for all your group and personal travel needs. If you're just now tuning in, today we're going to the quarantine fair, courtesy of Create Simple Meals. We're doing corn dogs and funnel cake. For the corn dog, we've already mixed up a cup of cornmeal, a cup of flour, half a cup of sugar, teaspoon of salt, an egg, cup of milk, tablespoon of oil, a little bit of baking powder, about 2 tablespoons of baking powder. For the funnel cake, which we're going to get to right now, we're going to mix in a 1/4 cup of milk, a egg, tablespoon of water, teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to use lemon today. Tablespoon of sugar, 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder, and a half a cup of flour. So let's get to that. Get this out of my way for now and move these out the way. Wondering why that's on there. Almost had me. I got done messed up. All right. So let's get to these sponges. Now I'm gonna try to mix this all together in this cup, which is preferred. That way you can just drizzle it into the hot oil. I'm gonna use a squeeze bottle, but I'm gonna try to do it in the cup. So for those of you that don't want to go spend money on useless items like these squeeze bottles, show you how to do it like this. So we're gonna mix in our flour. That out of the way. We got our baking powder, our sugar, teaspoon of salt, our oil, and I'm gonna need some more of that. I'm gonna tell you that right now. A little bit of water. Go from there. Give me a favor. Go get that squeeze bottle of oil off the counter. I think I need a little bit more oil in there. I ain't like that look. Just because I think I want a little bit more extract. I'm experimenting now, folks. I just want to see what this lemon do. Y'all not tasting it, I am. All right, grab this whisk. You gotta get that music on. This over. Huh? Okay, all right. All right, let me get a, thank you, the hidden hand. 1/4 cup of this milk here. Now, if you don't want to go through all this for making funnel cake, you can get some pancake mix and just do that. But I want to be just a tad bit extra. All right, let's mix this all up. You know I'm gonna use this. That might be easier for me. All right, that works pretty good. We're gonna mix this all up. And after we let that sit, I'm gonna go and make me a drink while I'm at it. All right. Again, if you're just now tuning in today, in honor of the fact that we can't go to no fairs this summer, we are doing corn dogs and funnel cake. So for the corn dogs, again, a cup of cornmeal, cup of flour, half a cup of sugar, about a teaspoon of salt, egg, milk, and some little bit of oil. A little bit of oil and some baking powder. For the funnel cake, is which I'm mixing up right now, you do the 1/4 cup of milk, an egg, a tablespoon of water, about a half a teaspoon of extract, vanilla extract is the typical one, but use whichever one you want. About a tablespoon of sugar and about 3/4 teaspoon of baking powder and a half a cup of flour. All right, so as you see, if you don't have a squeeze bottle, you can go ahead and do it that way, but I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in this squeeze bottle because I told y'all I'm experimenting on something. All right. put all this in here, and then while I'm sitting there waiting for this batter for this corn dogs to rise a little bit more. Matter of fact, I'll put it on screen so y'all can see it. It's kind of rising a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and get to making me a drink. So, for today's drink, I said I'm gonna start trying to incorporate a drink a show. For today's drink, it's called a whiskey lemonade. So, anybody who knows me know I always got some form of whiskey in the house. Go get that mint off the counter. I always got some form of whiskey in the house. So we're going to use a rye whiskey. Now, typically, the difference between this and a Lynchburg lemonade is made with Jack Daniels. Well, I got some Bullet Rye, so we're going to do what I call the whiskey lemonade. So to that, we're going to add in about a third cup of lemonade. We're going to add in, well, this is me, so I'm not even going to play. We're going to put in about 3 ounces of whiskey. We're going to take some mint and muddle that together. Oh, wait, let me go ahead and start stirring this a little bit. Get this out the way. Actually, I'm gonna muddle me some mint in here too, just a little bit once they come in. It's on the counter. That was my bad. I should have had it out here when I started. But I got home early and I tried to take me a little bitty nap. You see it? Alright. We're gonna take this all together. Where is my jigger top? Thank you, ma'am. Grab me a little bit of this mint. But last week I couldn't find mint easy. This week you could find it. Let me tell you now, the reason you see me agitating like that because I forgot to muddle it earlier, so I'm trying to release these oils in here. This ain't gonna muddle the way I wanted it to. Put this over yonder and give this a nice little shake and see what this tastes like. That oil is almost back to where I want it to be at. Oh, it looks pretty. Let's just see if it is pretty. All right. That's actually pretty good. So for that one, take some lemonade. These will do some pre-made lemonade, which is what this is. You want to get fancy, go and make your own. About actually an ounce and a half of whiskey. I'm using Rye by Bullet. And a third cup of lemonade. You can put mint. You can also put some rosemary. Muddle that together, shake it up. Nice little refreshing cocktail for one of these warm summer nights. All right, folks. Now that we got that, let's go ahead and get to these dogs. Go put me some blurbs on. Now, as I was saying earlier, with these corn dogs, 2 things you got to do. 1, you have to dry them off very, very well. The last time I did corn dogs, other than this weekend when I was practicing, was about 7 years ago for a Super Bowl. And I had a bunch of folks over here, and I'm trying to do these corn dogs. And every time I dipped them in the oil, all the corn came straight off. Obviously, I was thoroughly embarrassed because I got a house full of folks, but it is what it is. So, make sure you thoroughly dry these dogs off. And in addition to that, you're going to roll them in the flour. So get them nicely coated. And get better sticks. I had some old wooden skewers in there. And Jerry told me when I sent her the test batch, you need some bigger sticks. And I had every intention of getting some bigger sticks. But as Dr. G.H. Washington Jr. used to say, hell is full of good intentions. And some of us gonna go to hell with a bunch of good intentions. All right, let me go and roll these in. So these are Conecuh. Again, if you ain't fortunate enough to have been to Alabama or know somebody in Alabama or close to Alabama, you don't know what you're missing. But these Conecuh sausages are the best sausages in the entire world. You can quote me on that one. You can also use, if you want to get creative, go and get you some of them, was it Everwood or Evergreen Hot Links? You can go and get you some of them, put that on there and make you a different type of corn dog. Get you some smoked links. You ain't got to use hot dogs. That's why I spelled the dog the way I did. But I'm using Conecuhs for most of these, and I am going to do one cocktail weenie or hot dog weenie just because. All right, let's get this fire back up. We're going to go ahead. Now, I'm going to take this over there so I can dip and drop at the same time. Y'all may not see me, but hopefully you can see the fryer. All right. Huh? Can you still? Hold on, let me see 1 second. You can't? Oh, don't worry about it then. Just go back to the other thing. So, had an issue with that camera over there, so that's how it dips in. You see it sticking. We want to go all the way to put that in. You don't know how to remove it and take it back, put it back on, do you? Show you another one. We're gonna dip that in. You want to dip it all the way down to where the stick is completely covered. Bring it back up. Drop this one in. Drop these other ones. Let me see, can I get that other camera back on? Again, as always, this show is brought to you by the Self-Employed Tax Guy and Self-Lodge Planner. So for all your business development needs, your tax needs, business consulting, please hit up the Self-Employed Tax Guy. And for all your group and personal travel needs, once we get off this punishment we on, please hit up Self-Lodge Planner. If you are just now joining us, we are doing the Corona Quarantine Fair, and we're doing corn dogs and funnel cake. All right. Can I do this one real quick? All right, folks. Now you can see that camera over. See, can I get in here without knocking nothing over? And as you see, and I'm not sure because of humidity or what, but as you see, one of these, can you see that one right here? Yeah. You see that one and already started trying to come across? So I'm gonna do what I can to get that one right. So to give me a little noise, I gotta turn this fryer up some. We're gonna turn these. So even with a deep fryer, hope y'all can hear me, I'm kind of far from the mic. Even with a deep fryer, you are gonna have to rotate these from side to side. All right, I think we saved some of them. We're gonna see. We're gonna let them keep on frying off for a minute. I'm gonna keep on enjoying my drink. And just to recap real quick, folks, if you are just now joining us, in honor of the fact that we on quarantine, we are doing fair food today. So we're doing corn dogs and funnel cake. So for the corn dogs, you use some cornmeal, cup of cornmeal, cup of flour, half a cup of sugar, a little bit of salt, an egg, milk, tablespoon of oil, and some baking powder. Whisk that all together, pour it in a tall, slender cup, put you some sticks inside your hot dogs, roll them in. After dry them off very well, roll them in some flour, dip those in after about 20 minutes after the batter is set, and you go ahead and deep fry them off at 350 about 4 to 5 minutes or so. For the funnel cake, which we're going to fry up next, you use a quarter cup of milk, egg, about a tablespoon of water, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, tablespoon of sugar, three-quarter teaspoons of baking powder, half a cup of flour, and some powdered sugar, which I'm going to have to go in the house and get some powdered sugar too. Forgot that too. And then for this lovely libational drink that I'm drinking right here, it's a whiskey lemonade. About an ounce and a half of whiskey. I'm using rye, some mint, and about a cup of lemonade. You put that all in a cup, muddle that together, throw in some ice, give it a shake or two, and pour it into your glass and enjoy you a nice summer beverage. We're going to check on these dogs real quick. Add me some ice. Turn this one off. You better turn. There we go, buddy. Don't get down. Oh, that one down for a second. He's acting like he don't want to act right. Alright, now these over here. Get these nice golden brown. Get this flour out the way. Alright, get these. Alright, there. Let me start cleaning up my area a little bit. If you're out there, folks, chime in, say something to me. As I told y'all before, I've been doing this about my 25th show. It gets hard to talk to myself after a while, so I need y'all to chime in. Say something, ask me a question too. Hell, ask me anything. But just keep in mind, I'll say anything. Hey, Tiffany, what's going on with you? We're going to have to do a beer episode, and I'm going to post that to the other page. I'm going to make some beer one of these days on the show. Hey, Aunt Jean, my favorite viewer. Don't y'all take no offense. But Aunt Jean is here every week. Yolanda? Yolanda or? Oh, hey, what's up, Yolanda? All right. Cool. Hey, man, my plants are still jacked up. We're going to talk about that. All right, let me take these corn dogs out. They're about ready. Some of them is a little bit over ready. All right, folks. Let me take these out for right now and let y'all see what those look like. So now we're going to move on to these funnel cakes. For the funnel cakes, one, we take these baskets out. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you can put them straight out of the measuring cup. We're going to do them right from this squeeze bottle. So, put them in any pattern you want. Is it showing us out there? All right. Like, look at the magic. Look at the magic. Mommy, the man is making funnel cake. All right, let's go and let this float around. So you want to let this cook until, you got to kind of eyeball it because it can't sit on the side. But when it gets to the point you can start flipping, we're going to turn these over. And if you don't have a deep fryer or you ain't the kind of person to clog your arteries up, you can use a regular old fry pan as well. I just like testing my artery level. All right, we're going to take this now and we're going to flip that over. You don't know what a pot of sugar is, do you, Tim? You ready to get some powdered sugar real quick? All right, let this keep on frying, folks. And again, if you're just now tuning in, we are doing fair food today. So we're doing corn dogs and funnel cakes. Right now we finished up our funnel cake, which was a quarter cup of milk, about an egg. We used 1 egg, tablespoon of water, use a tablespoon of sugar, some baking powder, flour. Now we're gonna take these out and let that drain. All right, folks. We're gonna go ahead and get this stuff. Let's turn this fryer off. I hate the noise of this fryer. Huh? Well, I'm only making one for right now. Ain't nobody gonna watch me cook for the whole everybody. They want to see a second one? Well, if you go get that strainer, we're gonna do it. I'm about to improvise on this one. All right, folks. So you see the red one, didn't you? So your funnel cake. Here we have that there. Now I'm supposed to have a little sifter, but I didn't bring everything out here because I went to work today, folks. Oh, look at my wife. She put it in there for me. Gonna put a little. And because this is a fair, that's gonna cost you $9.95. People, that's $9.95 for the funnel cake and $15 for these corn dogs. Gonna grab some corn dogs here. And because we really are going to celebrate fair food, we're going to use fair boats here. And put our corn dog. Oh, this is going to be yours, Ted, because you said you wanted one of each. Don't get mad because Uncle JB had your batter done got kind of twisted. And there you have it, folks. So if you just now tuning in, let me recap real quick. Today we did fair food since we can't get out to the fair. So for the corn dogs, we had a cup of cornmeal, about a cup of flour, half a cup of sugar, teaspoon of salt, an egg, milk, about a tablespoon of salt, something like that, a baking powder, and a tablespoon of oil. Whisk that all together. You pour that into a tall cup. Take your hot dogs or your corn or your hot links, whatever you're using. You want to dry them off thoroughly and roll them in flour. Dip them into the batter and fry them at about 350 for roughly 5 minutes or so. For the funnel cake, we use a quarter cup of milk, an egg, a tablespoon of water, a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, a tablespoon of sugar, 3/4 teaspoons of baking powder, half a cup of flour, and some powdered sugar. For our whiskey lemonade, we use about an ounce and a half of whiskey, 1/3 cup of lemonade, and some milk. Now I want to try this funnel cake because I want to see what this lemon did to it. I wish you could try carbs today, because you was wrong. That lemon, it does it right. So, I would recommend if you want to try something different instead of the basic flavors, play with your extract. I use lemon extract on this one. Use some almond extract. What's some other one? Orange extract, whatever. Play with your favorites. Anyway, until next time, remember, when it comes to cooking, there are absolutely, positively only 3 rules that I believe you have. You must have passion. You must have patience. And you must be willing to practice. So until next time, right here on Create Simple Meals, we'll see you next week. Don't forget, click that subscribe button, that like button, that share button, and please email us or message us and let us know what ideas you want at askme@createsimplemeals.com. See you next week.